Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright. Previously, Phoenix pretty much won the trial. He proved without any question that Isabella could not have held the witch's staff, or the scepter rather, in any of her hands. And just when even Inquisitor Barnum conceded defeat, some guy, literally some guy, an angry drunk from the upper crowd, he leapt down to the floor and joined the witness stand, not to give any testimony, but to rally the other witnesses and come up with a new story. So, just clown shoes, man, just clown shoes. Anyway, we got some new interrogation to be doing, so let's get going here.
It's clear as day. Isabella is a witch. We are not backing down on this.
Hold it!
Not backing down, you say?
Uh-huh, that's right. Isabella is a witch. That's our story, and we're sticking to it.
This is a courtroom, Miss Kira. We're not interested in your story. We're interested in the truth. Do you suppose this design is kind of based on Aerith from Final Fantasy VII? Like, I actually haven't played Final Fantasy VII too much. I know, sacrilege. I never got past disc 1. But still, the brown hair with kind of like the braid hanging down and the pink and the flower basket, actually, come to think of it, makes me think of Aerith. Also, in this household, we say Aerith, not Eris. Glad that's settled.
You know what I think? I think stories have the power to touch our lives in really meaningful ways.
What do you mean?
Last year, I read a book about a flower girl who brought peace to the world with all the pretty flowers she sold. Because of that story, now I tell myself, Kira, one day you'll fill the world with beautiful flowers of your own. That story inspires me to sell more flowers. It's pretty much the same as this trial.
What a very touching story. Indeed, I have heard nary a truer tale. Wouldn't you agree, Sir Blue Knight? Maybe it's just me, but I'd have preferred something a little more relevant. I'm afraid our logic may do us no good here. Let's move on to the next witness, shall we? When she dropped the lantern, the scepter was not yet in her hands.
Hold it!
No matter how many times we ask, you still say you didn't see the scepter, huh, Gramps? I ask you, youngling, were you paying attention to this trial? Yes? Well then, magic made the scepter invisible, did it not? Thus my old age clouding up my vision has nothing to do with anything. The scepter actually vanished. No. What I'm saying is, if it really was invisible, you wouldn't be able to actually prove it. Not so, young one, we can prove it. The girl is a witch. There is your proof. So my old age clouding up my memories has nothing to do with anything. The scepter magically vanished, you see. Okay, we get it. When the lantern fell, you claim the scepter was still not in her hand yet. So that means...
The scepter must have been hidden by magic and carried on her back.
Hold it!
The witch's scepter was behind her back.
Well, it's like my little snowflake here. Whenever my darling gets too heavy, I hoist him up and carry him on my back.
You mean your baby goat, right?
Yes, yes, there isn't a cuter little goat in this entire courtroom, right, Precious?
I mean, it's also the only goat, so... I know it's been asked already, but you didn't see the witch's scepter, did you?
Well, no, but it must have been made invisible by magic and then put on her back. You know, Snowy is still such a tiny little thing. If I put him on my back, you can hardly see him.
I hardly see the point of that comment. So the accused grabbed the witch's scepter after the lantern fell. What is that design on his shield anyway? It kind of looks like an acorn, but... The rogues grabbed her by the hand that held the lantern, so she must have had another way of holding that scepter.
Hold it!
Are you alright?
What? Why?
Why? Well, for one thing, you're hiding behind what I assume is a shield.
Well played, Blue Knight. You managed to see through my steel guard technique. Huh?
Your steel what technique?
You tried to penetrate the depths of my mind and deceive me once with your witchcraft of words. But you will find your words are futile against the strength of my shield, crafted from wood harder than steel. Now then, have at you. Attack me if you dare.
No, just listen a second. Looking at this sketch, it's quite clear the accused could not have held the scepter in the same hand carrying the lantern. Witness, explain to the court just how the accused held the scepter. That's easy. The girl just put the bucket down on the ground and picked up the witch's magic stick.
Hold it!
She put the milk bucket down.
That's right. I reckon if she did that, she'd have no problem holding that thing.
Objection!
But none of the other witnesses have said anything about seeing her put the bucket on the ground.
But no one said nothing about not seeing her put the bucket down either, right?
Uh-oh. There's a lot going on here. Okay, wait. Literally everyone! I guess I just choose my favorite.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Kira?
Huh? Yes? What is it?
Tell me, what do you think of this witness's testimony just now? The accused placed the bucket on the ground. No one has said anything about this until now.
Why, you're right. How odd. Everyone must have simply forgotten, myself included.
Huh?
But, yeah, Isabella definitely did put that milk bucket down. That way, she was able to easily grab her scepter and use magic. Easy peasy, right? The nerve, Nick! It looks like she's trying to peg Isabella as a witch every chance she gets.
Really? I don't know how much more of this testimony I can stand. Well, I think that led nowhere. Let's listen to some guy's full testimony.
Hold it!
She put the milk bucket down.
That's right. Reckon if she did that, she'd have no problem holding that thing.
Objection!
But none of the other witnesses have said anything about seeing her put the bucket on the ground.
Oh, but no one said a thing about not seeing her put the bucket down either, right?
Well, yeah, but...
There you go. These lot probably just didn't see it happen is all.
Okay, well... We can't rely on Kira or Wordsmith's eyesight. And I don't think, I think we said that... It was said that Mary actually didn't see much at all either, so maybe Nidal is who we want to talk to.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Mr. Nidal. Tell me, what do you think about this witness's testimony just now? He claims the accused placed the bucket on the ground. No one has said anything about this until now.
I am reminded of but one thing, sir. A battle tactic important to any knight. Imagine, in one hand you hold your sword and in the other your shield. When suddenly, from the shadows, an itch of epic proportions takes to your back. What doth one do? Indeed, what can one do? Well, let me tell you. One must drop one's sword and fell that unholy itch with a well-timed scratch to one's back.
Right.
A crafty witch would surely use the same tactic, would she not? I call it my signature back scratch attack of great justice.
Right.
By the way, be wary when using that tactic in battle. I find my opponents rarely give me ample time to remove my armor and scratch.
I can't help but notice that I'm actually still able to look around at the other people while someone is giving their opinion on another testimony. This can stack on top of each other. Thank you for that, Mr. Nidal. No further questions?
Mr. Nidal sure takes the whole knight thing super seriously, huh?
Sheesh. Guess it's back to the drawing board. Alright, well, let's try Mary this time. At least I'm not penalized for this.
Hold it!
Yeah, we've been through this quite a bit now. I mean, we're not penalized for it, but... We're not penalized for it, but it's still pretty tedious, especially because we don't have a skip button anymore. We can't hold down the button to skip dialogue I've already seen. That sucks.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Mary.
Uh-huh? You mean Snowy and me?
What do you think of the witness's testimony just now? The accused placed the bucket. Yeah, even the dialogue here is a bit copy-pasted, but I'm fine with that.
Oh, that must be how it happened. The girl probably placed the milk bucket on the ground, yes?
Oh, right. Duh, she was the one watching the milk bucket like a hawk.
Objection!
Miss Mary, you did not mention anything to that effect in your previous testimony. And yet you clearly stated that the one thing you were specifically focused on, more than anything else, was the milk bucket.
Herc!
Ergo, you should be able to confirm to the court whether or not the bucket really was placed on the ground.
Objection!
Uh-oh. One's memory is not flawless, Sir Blue Knight. Pay attention to what the witness was saying. The accused probably placed the milk bucket on the ground. There is the possibility such was the case.
Yes, that's right. Isn't it my little cuddle pumpkin? I knew it. There's something fishy about her testimony, but...
Indeed, it would seem we require a decisive piece of evidence if we are to expose the contradictions in these witnesses' testimonies.
Yeah, I just have to think of what that could be. Oh. Well, in that case... must have been hidden by magic and carried on her back. Is there anything I have that could disprove that? I mean... I'm starting to wonder if this guy's name isn't actually some guy. Oh yeah, look, she's wearing her glasses in this profile. Interesting. Okay, let's take this from the top. If I had evidence to disprove that, we wouldn't be here. When she dropped the lantern, the scepter was not yet in her hands. Well, I mean, we spent all that time and energy trying to prove that it wasn't in her hands, so yeah. It's good that this is true. The scepter must have been hidden by magic and carried on her back. I don't know how to disprove this. The rogues grabbed her by the hand that held the lantern, so she must have had another way of holding that scepter. Well, that's true. That's what the illustration says, or shows. Or just put the bucket down on the ground and picked up the witch's... Hold on. If the bucket was put on the ground, why isn't there any mud?
Objection!
I'm afraid what really happened is not quite so simple.
What? What you talking about?
It had only just stopped raining moments before the crime took place. Oh. That was my phone. Disregard that. As a result, the ground was very muddy. If Miss Cantabella really placed this bucket on the ground, like you claimed she did, then it should be caked with mud, just like the lantern was after it fell. Well, I'd say that clears up your muddy testimony, wouldn't you?
Well, hey, Barnum.
What?
You just gonna sit there looking pretty? Come on, give me a hand here.
Flattery will get you nowhere, witness, other than perhaps to the dungeon. At any rate, there is but one question we ought to ask. Why is there no mud on that bucket? To the witness with the goat, may I ask you a question? Uh-oh. Oh no, she probably cleaned it. Ah! Huh? Are you talking to us? Indeed. You admitted to the court that you returned home with the milk bucket. Illegally, I must add. Oh my, such harsh words, Inquisitor. When you took the bucket home, you must have simply wiped the mud from the bucket, is that correct? What is she even doing with her hands there? You know, now that you mention it, No way. Don't tell me. That milk bucket? Oh, that's right, I remember now. I don't know if what was on the bucket was mud exactly, but it certainly was dirty. Before taking it inside with me, I remember wiping it clean with an old rag. Are you kidding me?
Ah, jeez.
Exceptional work, Inquisitor Barnum. Right, it all makes perfect sense. See? We were right all along, weren't we, Inquisitor Barnum?
I knew that sword weren't just for show, Barnum. You sliced his argument in two.
Objection!
Witness, Miss Mary. What is it? You're absolutely sure there was mud stuck to this milk bucket? Oh my, well, truth be told, I don't remember whether it was mud exactly. But I do remember cleaning the bucket off when I got home. Ugh.
It would seem the defense has failed to disprove the witness's claims. Of that we can be quite certain. Oh, that'll teach you, Bluey. You got that right. Do me a favor, will you, Gramps? I want to change my testimony just a tiny bit.
Huh?
I will allow it only if the witness refrains from name-calling in the future. You got it, my lord? Well, all this court mumbo-jumbo has left me thirstier than a dog in a desert.
You know what a desert is? How deep is that?
That witch there was holding a stick. Even heard her say the incantation thingy, that's right. Witnessed it all.
Huh?
Hold it!
But no one knows for sure if Miss Cantabella dropped that milk bucket on the ground. Because there's no mud on it, is that what you're saying?
Hey, we went over this already. We know the goat lady wiped off all the mud.
Objection!
However, Miss Mary doesn't clearly remember whether or not it was mud that was stuck on the bucket. We really don't remember, but maybe... I guess maybe there was mud on it. I mean, she couldn't hold the scepter without putting the bucket on the ground. Miss Mary, please, give a definitive answer.
You all done, Bluey? Talk all you want, because it ain't gonna help you see. The five of us, we saw what that witch went and did. We saw it clear as day.
Huh? And this dude's weird. So it's just Wordsmith taking issue with that.
Hang on!
Excuse me, mister? Earth to Gramps?
Defender, when you say Gramps, might you by any chance be referring to me?
No, of course not, Your Honor. Mr. Wordsmith, are you listening?
I heard you quite clearly the first time, young man. These ears hear all, the crackling of the fire, the whispering of the crowd, and now your voice.
If that's the case, then allow me to ask you a question. You were clearly deep in thought just now. Do you have something to say about this man's testimony?
Indeed so. I felt something was amiss. However, what that means I cannot say.
Amiss? Witness, could you tell us? What precisely was amiss with the third-rate testimony from this third-rate witness? Is it just me whose face getting redder? What a burn, Barnum.
5 heads are better than 1. 10 eyeballs are better than 2. As I listened to this man's testimony, I could not help but become aware of something most odd. Tonight, when the crime occurred, we all made haste to that terrible scene. The delicious scent of mid-evening dinner permeated through the air, the shadow of those present cast through the dim light. And yet there were but 4 figures standing in that vicinity, myself included.
4? Hold on 1 second. You're saying that there were only 4 witnesses at the crime scene tonight?
These eyes may be old, but they know what they saw.
Is something the matter, Miss Mary?
No, it's just that Snowy and I are trying to remember what happened at the time. I remember the flames erupting into the air. That's when Snowy and I made our mad dash to save the precious milk. And when those 2 ruffians were set ablaze, the flame filled the area with light. In that sudden flash of light, we could see that there were other people around besides ourselves. And that's when I saw them. The other people that scrambled to the scene along with us. I'm quite sure of it. There are only 4 of us there at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
Hold it, madame. What in blazes is going on? We have 5 witnesses on the stand, all claiming to have witnessed tonight's events firsthand. That means we have 1 witness too many. Don't be stupid. Oh.
Oi, you lot better stop speaking out of turn. All for one and one for all, remember? We all promised to take this witch down together, didn't we?
It's not quite that simple. We saw what we saw.
Well, I say it's all about the numbers. And I counted, I say. I'll have you know my counting is flawless. On nights when sleep eludes me, I can count sheep from moonrise to sunrise.
4 witnesses? 5 witnesses? What difference does it make? Things all started getting muddled when you showed up.
What the? You saying it's my fault? I was there, you fool. Didn't I just finish saying that?
My testimony is strong as steel, even if it's not completely stainless.
You know what stainless steel is? Huh.
Order, I said order.
Okay, well, actually, regular steel can get stained, so... I mean, yeah.
What is going on here? You claim the number of witnesses does not add up. I have never paid witness to such an outrageous conflict.
There is but one answer to this puzzle. A single possibility.
What do you mean?
Without a doubt, magic must have been used at the scene of the crime. Furthermore, it would indeed appear that there were only 4 witnesses present at the scene. And yet, currently, we are faced with 5 witnesses testifying to the court. That certainly is quite a fatal contradiction, with only one possible answer. Would you not agree, Mr. Wright? The answer, it can't be. Well, out with this supposed answer, Sir Blue Knight. What is your explanation for the current number of witnesses? I was gonna say one of them is lying, but... Okay, look, let's break this down. They didn't see things correctly. Well, I mean, we've already spun our wheels for, like, nearly an hour talking about this, so that'll get us nowhere. The witch cast a spell on them. That would implicate a spella, and also, I can't prove that. But one of them is a witch? Oh yeah, this will get the story moving. While it might seem far-fetched, the reality is actually rather simple. The real witch, and the real murderer in this case, is actually one of these 5 witnesses. What? You're telling us that the witch is amongst this group of witnesses? What utter rubbish! There is no possible way that such a claim could be true. That's right. Got a lot of nerve accusing one of us being a witch. We have told you nothing but the truth. Yet you still have the gall to bat around such an outrageous accusation? Behold, behold as my trusty shield deflects your petty words like the petty words that they are. Inquisitor Barnum. Yes, my lord. I would like to see a sketch of the crime scene at the time of the incident. Do you have one in your possession? Yes, certainly, my lord. I have one here. I requested it from the court illustrator, just in case. Very well, witnesses. I would like each of you to mark your location at the time of the murder. Here on this crime scene sketch. Quickly now. The number of witnesses doesn't add up. It looks like we're getting somewhere now, but we haven't even scratched the surface of this case yet. And it's all thanks to this top hat wearing gentleman. The court accepts this crime scene sketch into evidence. Hey. If one of the witnesses is the witch, that could only mean one thing. Somebody here isn't telling the truth. That would indeed appear to be the case, Mr. Wright. Listen well, Sir Blue Knight. The path you tread now is a dangerous one. Claiming that a witch is among these most honorable witnesses is a serious accusation. Should it prove to be a false one, you will find yourself at the other end of my sword. Do I make myself clear? Wow. Pot calling the kettle black, throwing stones in glass houses. What is he doing? I'm sure he'll think nothing of it when his spell is proven innocent. Huh? But that wasn't so much my suggestion. I mean, the gentleman here with the lovely top hat was the one who urged me to say it. It is the same thing, Sir Blue Knight. Indeed, it is the same thing, Sir Baker. It is the same thing, Mr. Wright. Oh boy. Now, ready your sword. Ready? Were you listening? You claim the witch is not the accused and that someone else at the crime scene was the true culprit. If what you say is true, then surely you can tell the court exactly where this person was at the time of the crime. Can you not? Come now, Sir Blue Knight. Only you can enlighten us as to who this real witch actually is. Sir Doughy Defender. Show us where the witch was at the exact moment the murder took place. I get it. The witch must have been right nearby when the murder took place. She must have been with this group. After all, one of the witnesses is a liar. So they would lie about their location. After all, actually, you know what? Maybe it's right here. We saw the art. It had, Mary's perspective. She saw the Inferno, she saw Aspella, she also saw figures on her left, on her right, and across from her. But this gap is suspiciously open. I don't think I'm going to be penalized for being wrong here, so...
Got it!
The witch was standing probably somewhere around here. Somewhere around here? It looks like it is your head that is currently somewhere else, Sir Blue Knight. What do you mean? I believe he is trying to convey that your answer was incorrect. Aw, I felt so clever. Well, he didn't need to be so harsh about it. If I may, Mr. Wright, keep in mind that the real witch is among the witnesses, so we cannot be completely certain that their testimonies are all true. Of course, that's true. Well, looks like relying on the witness testimonies is out the window. Mr. Wright, the witch used the spell Ignace, right? Take a look at the Grand Grimoire. We're bound to find something in there. Oh yeah. What are the rules of that spell? Oh yeah, summons a circle of flame within a 1 meter radius of the caster. Alright. Even if the witness is lining up a storm, whatever is inside this Grand Grimoire has to be the truth, right? Sir Doughy Defender, do not waste the court's time with any more such I'm mad. Every time your health is in jeopardy, it shows you the icon to remind you. I saw no such icon when I was looking at that map. I'm mad. Sir Doughy Defender, show us the location of the witch during the crime. No, my carrots! Ah!
Got it!
The witch must have been standing here.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? Unfortunately for you, that spot has absolutely nothing to do with any of these witnesses.
Objection!
Inquisitor Barnum, I suggest you try taking a look at this. The Grand Grimoire. According to this tome, Ignace summons a circle of flame within a 1 meter radius of the caster. In other words, the witch had to have been within 1 meter of the flame when casting the spell.
Objection!
Of course, you needn't say any more, Sir Blue Knight. First off, notice that there is no one else in that area other than the accused. It should also be quite obvious from the sketch that there is clearly nowhere for anyone to hide.
Objection!
True, there aren't any hiding spots. However, there is one other possibility if a witch wanted to stay hidden from sight. Most intriguing. Since you seem to love showing evidence, prove it. How was the witch able to hide in plain sight? They cast the vanishing spell on themselves.
Take that!
This Telea Magica contains 2 magic gems. Ignace and one other spell. That's right, the spell Dimir. Dimir. Oh, it cannot be. That's right. There was most certainly a witch present at the crime scene, only they were completely invisible. All thanks to the magic spell Dimir. What foolishness is this? Only one prosecutor in this world can use that word. Well, I guess this world isn't that world, so okay. Order? Order in the court. Defender, what are you getting at? I thought the witch used Dimir to make the Telea Magica disappear.
Objection!
According to the Grand Grimoire, under the entry for Dimir, it causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. In other words, supposing the witch were holding the staff in one hand while touching part of their body with the other, they would be able to make themselves disappear. Are you implying that there is that is the reason for the conflicting number of witnesses? Indeed, it is, which means, witnesses, someone amongst you is not disclosing the entire truth, and that person is the witch we seek. I believe this is the most probable scenario. Honorable witnesses, you will testify to the court one final time. Tell us exactly what you saw and what you did not see at the scene of the crime. How absurdly absurd. The purpose of this trial is to convict that girl of the crime, is it not? That's right. We are not witches. Witnesses, I ask that you listen. There is a witch mingling among you. He said it. He said it. That's right. I'm afraid you are all no longer brothers in arms. The true opponent here is within your own group. The real witch is one of these 5 witnesses, huh? Fine by me. Time to put an end to this trial. You wish to know where we were all standing tonight? It matters not. The flames not burned just the same. That flame, I never saw anything like it. It quite literally left me speechless. I couldn't even so much as scream. I heard the tiniest cry, and then when I turned around, the blighters were roasting, so I rushed right over. I heard the incantation.
Then the flames suddenly erupted. I'm certain of it. I only saw 3 people there with us.
As I said, there were only 3 others present, like that man there who was stumbling around like a newborn calf. A most heinous act indeed. No small wonder these witnesses are so confused. A witch amongst the witnesses. What an utterly baseless claim.
I don't think so, Barnum. The only baseless claim in this case is of Espella being a witch. It's more than a little likely one of these witnesses is the culprit. These testimonies are bound to tell me who the real witch is.
You wish to know where we were all standing tonight? It matters not, with the flames not burned just the same.
Hold it!
In other words, you're not sure exactly what happened tonight, is that right?
Defender, I fought with burning vigor this night. Do not belittle my efforts.
Right.
A knight does not just run away at the mere sight of fire. Ha!
No one even said anything about running away.
If I may be perfectly straight with you, the pillar of fire illuminated the area as it rose high into the air. There by the fire was the witch, and excluding the 2 unfortunate knaves, I counted 3 others at the scene.
Kira has something to say, but no one else.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Kira.
Eek! What do you want?
You look like you had something to say about the testimony just now.
Well, it was about the number of people at the crime scene. Have you ever played the Daisy Petal game?
Daisy Petal game?
1 witness, 2 witnesses, 3 witnesses, 4 witnesses, 5 witnesses, 6 witnesses.
Huh?
What an adorable game. It seems like something out of a fairy tale.
Seriously, Your Honor? Anyway, you may continue your testimony, witness.
That flame, I never saw anything like it. It quite literally left me speechless. I couldn't even so much as scream.
Hold it!
It must have been pretty terrifying, huh?
Yes, it's the kind of thing you only read about in books. The moment that pillar of fire erupted, I could feel my throat tightening up. It was so difficult to breathe, I couldn't even manage so much as a scream.
Quite. After all, the flames engulfed the scene in a blink of an eye.
Yes, I'm sorry. That's why I can't really remember.
So you can't remember the number of people at the crime scene. Naturally, that is understandable, witness.
That's also why I was a little late getting to the scene compared to the others.
I heard the tiniest cry, and then when I turned around, the blighters were roasting, so I rushed right over.
Hold it!
The tiniest cry.
It might have been something saying the incantation for that spell. My memory's kinda hazy on that one. Scared me good, though. Never jumped up to my feet so fast in all my life. Nearly had a heart attack, I tell ya.
Jumped up.
Sure, I was still raining cats and dogs, so being the resourceful chap that I am, I decided to doze under a tree for a bit.
Wordsmith has issue with that.
Hang on!
Is everything all right, Mr. Wordsmith?
What is it that you want this time, young one?
I just wanted to know if you had any thoughts on the testimony just now.
Oh, yes. Thoughts about slumbering under trees, you mean?
Slumbering?
I often find myself weaving the most intricate of dreams under that very tree. Of course, I could not nap tonight, and not with that uncouth man usurping my special dreaming spot, could I?
Are you using this cross-examination to argue over a napping spot? Let us hope such arguments do not lead to any criminal acts in the future.
So hold on.
If some guy was up there up top napping under a tree, why was Wordsmith, who was looking for that tree specifically to nap in, why was he down there? Let us hope such arguments do not lead to any criminal acts in the future.
Witness, please continue your testimony.
I heard the incantation, then the flames suddenly erupted. I'm certain of it. I only saw 3 people there with us.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely certain?
Well, I believe so. But then when you think about it, can anyone really be absolutely certain of anything?
It worries me that you're saying that in the middle of a cross-examination. I believe the witness means that there is no way she can be certain whether there were 4 witnesses or 5 at the crime scene.
Anyhow, there was a matter of great importance that Snowy and I had to tend to.
Ah, you must mean...
That's right, the milk. If any soot had gone into that milk, it would be the tragedy to end all tragedies.
Oh. Some guy has an issue.
Hang on!
Oh, his mug is overflowing.
Could I stop you there, mister? Mister!
Wow! Whoa! Tone down the volume, Louie.
That's my line. Does anything come to mind regarding Miss Mary's testimony?
Nope. Not really. Nothing important anyways.
Really?
Just that I think this old lady is full of it.
Huh?
I'm talking about the milk, man. The milk. You'll know the second you'll try this stuff. Ain't nothing to write home about, let me tell you.
Really? I'm pretty sure people make sounds every time, but just want to make sure.
What are you saying, you dolt? Who on earth would let you drink anything as delicious as the milk from my farm? A ruffian like you is better served by whatever unthinkable liquid is in that never-ending mug of yours.
Are you guys using this cross-examination to argue over milk? Let us hope such arguments do not lead to any criminal acts in the future.
Witness, please continue your testimony.
As I said, there were only 3 others present, like that man there who was stumbling around like a newborn calf.
Hold it!
So, including yourself, there were a total of 4 witnesses at the crime scene, correct? That is how it has come to pass. By the way, what do you mean by stumbling around like a newborn calf? Ah, yes, that was a man as inebriated as he was loud. Quite the humorous sight it was, I dare say. He must mean the witness permanently glued to his cup of whatever it is he's drinking. Pretty sure it's alcohol. When I saw the flames rise up into the sky, I wondered to myself, my word, whatever could that be? However, I could not simply walk over to check. My knees were a bit weak from shock, you see. That's when the wobbly-legged gentleman came running over. Huh?
Hang on!
Is something the matter, mister? Mister!
Whoa! Tone down the volume, Bluey.
Deja vu. Yeah, deja vu. Sir Blue Knight, next time please think before trying to press this witness. Looks like this guy even managed to scare Barnum half to death. Now then, sir, about Mr. Wordsmith's testimony just now. He claimed you were stumbling around. What does he mean by that?
I'm gonna set the record straight right now. No way was I stumbling around anywhere. I'd like to think of it more like, staggering with style.
A responsible adult should know better than to go stumbling around in the dead of night.
Hey, look, I don't know to go stumbling around like some clumsy idiot. I've got more sense than that. But anyway, I kinda tripped over a large stone. I mean, don't exactly see what's on the ground in front of you when you're running at full pelt, right? So, you could say I put my life out on the line, proving that you really need to watch where you're going when you run.
How courageous of you. Someone give this guy a medal. My lord, this testimony is a meaningless waste of everyone's time.
Well, defender, is there a point to this particular line of questioning?
Is there anything worth pursuing here? What should I do? Definitely question further. The witness stated earlier that he tripped over a large stone. Mister, I have one question for you. Why weren't you watching what was in front of you?
Well, to be honest with her, it ain't much of a real reason, but something suddenly caught me attention. Out of nowhere, I sort of heard someone call out my name.
You heard your name?
Of course, I turned around when I heard it. Who wouldn't? When a woman calls your name, you pay attention, am I right?
Oh, don't tell me this dude's name sounds like one of the spells. So, you heard someone call out, "Hey you," from behind, you mean?
What? I said they called out my name. How many guys you know called "Hey you"? My name is Emir. Don't forget it, Bluey. You hear me?
Emir. Hold on. Simply chant Amir to make it reappear. Oh, brother. I must say, this gentleman really does not strike me as an emir. You know, Professor, it's not a very memorable name, huh? That's harsh. Honorable witnesses, is there anyone among you who was aware of this man's name prior to now? Not at all. He's always just been Mr. to me. A knight's name is only as good as the name of the sword he carries. That didn't answer the question. It is the first I have heard of this. I dare say I did not expect his name to be one such as Emir.
I'm sorry, but I didn't know his name either. I only remember the names of my most loyal customers.
Okay. It looks like absolutely no one knew this witness's name.
You know, ain't really much of a surprise to me either. Har 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 har. But seriously, I definitely heard someone call me name. When you get to be me age, you really start to wonder when you'll find that true love, you know? I thought that pretty voice tonight might have been me sweetie.
Your Honor, I don't believe we should be so quick to label Mr. Emir's testimony meaningless. Would you not agree? I request that the witness add this amusing anecdote to his testimony.
Understood. Witness, amend your testimony, but please reflect only the important points of your story. I'm telling you, heard someone call me name. I was looking around trying to find him.
Well, I feel like this should go on quite a bit. Like, well, looking at the map, yeah, Kira is standing right next to Amir. That would be the only voice he could hear. I don't know how much longer this is gonna last. We're already over 1 hour by now. If I said it wasn't a name you heard, they uttered an incantation, and it was a female voice, and the only woman near you was Kira, that must have been the witch. Would it really be as cut and dry as that? Would it really end right there? Yeah, oh well. As much as I would like the idea of neatly wrapping up Phoenix's chapter here in this video, yeah, I guess next time we'll wrap up this case, deliver the coup de grace, and send Murder McGee to the fires. And then I guess we'll pick things back up with Layton. After all, there might be a big aftermath, like a post-trial scene, you know? Yeah, it's really looking like Kira is the killer, and that's not surprising at all. But yeah, fun stuff. Still really liking these characters. Still really liking the what's the word for it? The system with looking at the reactions of all the witnesses while someone's speaking. Yeah, still really liking that. Yeah, it's good that there are dead ends. Not every reaction will warrant a course-changing new revelation. That'd be weird. Yeah, some people will just have surprising thoughts about another statement. Not necessarily something we can use. That makes sense. That fits. Yeah, well, I know that after I finish recording this, I'm gonna go look up the ESRB rating for this. I want to see if they, actually got rated for alcohol consumption and drunkenness, or if they're actually managing to spill this off as, clearly this guy wasn't drunk, he's just silly and sleepy. Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll join me next time when we finish this court. So until then, please take care.